crisis. The president's trip to the border tomorrow is about more than a wall. He's going to be highlighting the communities most adversely affected by the surge of illegal immigration, communities that are changing before our very eyes. Here now, Lieutenant Governor of Texas, a man who the president has leaned on just ahead of last night's speech, Dan Patrick, who met with the president yesterday. Dan, thanks for being here. Do we have a crisis at our southern border, and is a wall necessary in your view?
It's not a manufactured crisis, it's a manufactured cover-up. And I'm sick and tired of it, Laura. I was in the White House yesterday. I actually didn't see the president. I was working with his team before. I'll see him tomorrow. But it's a manufactured cover-up. The mainstream media, MSNBC, CNN, the print media, and the Democrats are in one of two groups. They're deniers or they're deceivers. The deniers won't accept the truth, or they're quite frankly not smart enough to figure it out. The deceivers know the truth and they're lying to the American people. The American people have to understand that the illegal immigrants in this country today, by my own calculations and the Yale study of September 21st of last year, says there are 25 to 35 million people in this country. The low number could be 17, the high number could be 35. Let's call it in the middle, 25. That's 7 to 8% of the entire American population is here illegally, Laura. And the reason the deceivers, the Democrats, and the mainstream media have this manufactured cover-up is because they want another 10, 15, 20 million to continue to pour in to where they turn those into votes one day, and they control the country, and they move our country to the left. I have seen it, Laura, firsthand. In Texas, 200,000 illegal immigrants arrested, charged with over 700,000 crimes. We have 100,000 gang members in Texas. We caught 94.5 pounds of fentanyl, our state troopers, last year, and that works out to 21 million doses on the street. We have an opioid crisis.
Deadly.
This is a real crisis, and the American people better wake up that they're being lied to by the mainstream media and the Democrats.
I want to talk about McAllen, Texas in particular, and the Rio Grande Valley, that vast sector that, you know, we have like 6 border stations there. McAllen's been upgraded, a nice facility, but you got a vast territory. That's the growing Hispanic population in McAllen. You see the statistics there. It's gone up somewhat, not that much, but the more interesting thing is there's McAllen right at the border. How does this affect crime in the area? But just in the last couple of months, we've seen some pretty devastating criminal activity.
Yeah, MS-13, continued criminal activity. Although, Laura, here's what's interesting. Because we have in the state of Texas, along with the U.S. government, such a border presence there, crime is actually down over that area. In fact, I was in La Jolla, Texas a couple of years ago, and La Jolla is west of McAllen, where the current fence, we have 54 miles of fence along that area, where it ends. And this Democrat mayor said to me, please extend the fence. Why? Because the fence was keeping people out. They came around it into his community. We need fences, Laura, where we're a wall. Call it what you want. We need barriers to keep people out from Brownsville to something called Falcon Lake. That's the main area where more than half of the people come into this entire country. Last year, over 500,000 people crossed the border illegally between San Diego and Brownsville, about 300,000 in Texas. Now, law enforcement will tell you we get 1 out of 4 or 5. If we caught 500,000 just last year, that means somewhere between 1 million, 1.5 million, and 2 million were not
crisis.
Yeah, it is a crisis beyond imagination, and we're losing our country. In Texas alone, Laura, we have 5 million kids in public school. 1 in 5 are not proficient or don't speak English at all. The cost to the American taxpayer for education in this country, the cost to the American taxpayer for health care in this country, and I hear this about, you know, not all are criminals, many are good people. We cannot afford to educate, medicate, and incarcerate the whole world.
All right, Dan Patrick, thank you so much for the update from McAllen tomorrow. We'll be covering it up next.